How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Eddie Austin YouTube channel. I'm your host today, Eddie Austin. We're going to talk about property management companies and hiring a property manager for your portfolio of properties or a single piece of property. In this space, we hire a property manager, especially when we're buying properties out of state or when we simply do not want to manage the property ourselves. Another thing a property manager can do, if I can learn to talk again today, is they can bring value that most of the time we can't because they are a professional in that space. But there are some definite questions and there's definitely boxes we want to check off when we're hiring a property manager to manage one of our properties. And these are lessons learned from being in the real estate game. So number one, when I hire a property manager to manage one of my assets, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the rating that they have online, and I'm going to contact that company and get a quote on the size property. Say I wanted to manage a 300 unit property, multifamily, and say they're a 4 or 5% on the asset management fee of that, or the property management fee of that. So I'm going to call around. I'm going to get 3 quotes because I want to get a nice average of what it's really going to cost. Don't go with the cheapest unless they have a good background. So how do we verify they have a good background? Well, number one, we're going to interview them. We're going to ask them the right questions. Have you ever managed a property of 300 units in size? I've heard companies' websites, I've seen people's websites where they say they've got 50,000 units under management. Maybe them are all single family homes and they've never managed a 300 unit property. Maybe the biggest property they manage is 100 units and that's how they got their 50,000 number. If that's the case, that's probably not the best person to manage your 300 unit property. You want to find a management company that's going to be able to actually manage something that they're good at. And that's their niche, is managing a property of that size. So not a bunch of single family homes. Now, if you got a single family home and that's what you're looking for, then that's an opportunity for, that's probably going to be a good fit for you. But let's take it a step further. Hopefully you guys have your own leasing agreement or you've seen a few of them. So you actually can see a good lease agreement compared to a bad lease agreement, and then hand that into the property management company and then compare that to the one that they're going to put in place for your new tenants. Because you want to compare it. Maybe there's some pet policies left out that are not in there that are very important for you to have that in there for pet deposits and stuff like that. And then the second thing, or the third thing I'd want to do is we really want to dig into their track record. What kind of track record do they have? And get some testimonies. Ask some other operators that's used that company. Hey, is there anyone I could ask, like a referral, that you've managed a property for them successfully? If they're really good at what they do, they're not going to have a problem with handing over that information. So you can contact that other company and find out that they managed a property and they managed it well. Because one of the number one things, especially if you're a syndicator or fund manager, you're doing your best to maintain vacancy. You are doing your best to maintain a good tenant base. You are doing your best to mature an asset that can be sold in a market that can be acceptable to a nice asset coming on board. And what do I mean by that? Is if we bought a property for a basis value of $150,000 a door, and our property management company has done a good job of keeping the occupancy up, keeping the tenant base the way we want it compared to our business plan, and we're going to exit that property at $180,000 a door, we matured that asset the way it needed to be matured. We didn't have a bunch of deferred maintenance. We didn't have a bunch of tenants tearing up the property, and that's what we're looking for. So you want to find a good property manager that can maintain your business plan. And your asset manager, if your team's big enough where you have an asset manager, you want to stay on them really hardcore because you want to make sure that they're maintaining a good relationship with the property management company so there's a level of communication back and forth with each other. because the last thing you want is to be managing this thing from several states away and to find out your property management company is totally failing on you and you're finding out on your financial statements that things are going wrong. At that point, it's probably going to be pretty late in the game to go in and fix things. So I would tell you, having a good property management company that you can know, like, and trust, just like when people invest with us, they know, like, and trust us as an operator and as a company. That is so important, guys. And that's what you want to be looking for as a company you can know, like, and trust. Build that relationship with them. And then your asset manager, make sure that they have a know, like, and trust relationship with them. And hey, if you're employing them, you should definitely know, like, and trust who you're employing, right? So, that's why it's so important to ask these questions and do these things. To just summarize here, what we want to do is, number one, what size property have you managed before? What does it look like? Get some testimonies. Go online, see the reviews. Find out what kind of properties they've managed, and then see if you can contact some operators to get some referrals if they're a good company or they're not. That's what you want to be looking for. Make sure they're very clear on the business plan to know for sure that they can maintain what your business plan says. Maybe you got a business plan that's not capable in the market, and the property management company might tell you, hey, I know you're wanting to push rents this much, but historically we've managed properties here for 10 years and that business plan is not going to work. So your property management company can actually be the person that's going to check and understand if your business plan is going to work. And they may even be able to push past your business plan, meaning that they can actually, you underwrote your rent growth at 2.5%, and they're like, hey, we get about 3.5 to 4. Now, conservatively, I'd probably go to 3% because the market can usually handle that depending on what market you're in. But what we really want to maintain is we want to maintain a tenant base, and that we can maintain good rents and a good tenant base to take care of the property and to be able to mature that asset along the 3 to 5 year period or however we're going to hold that thing. So these are the kind of things I want you guys to be thinking about when you go to hire a property management company. Hopefully you're grown big enough to get you an asset manager that can be on site on a regular basis. If not, as a property owner, I would tell you, if you're managing your property from a distance, I would at least try and visit once a month, at least once a month. If you got a bunch of properties and you got a good asset manager, maybe every other month, but please take it upon yourself to go visit your property. It's your fiduciary responsibility. If you have investors, you need to maintain that because it's you have other people's money invested in this piece of property. You're trying to mature it so you can get them a good return, and so they will invest with you the next time. Guys, if you like this content, please like and subscribe, and make sure that you share it with anyone that you know that this information could benefit them as well, because I'm doing this to be able to help other people. That's my goal, is to help other people. If you guys want any type of coaching, please let us know. Write coaching in the comments below. We'll get you the link to our coaching program, or you can go to our website. Thank you guys so much and have a great day.